I forgot to unmute my mic. That's so funny. All right, we're back. I'm hype. We're gonna have fun today. So, it has been brought to my attention. Okay, someone informed me that in the last stream, I increased the counter one reset more than I was supposed to. So, like, currently we have 1,000 resets. That's what shows on the screen there. Apparently, I only did 996 because I got ahead of myself. I didn't notice that. I didn't see it, but someone caught it, and then they messaged me last night. So, what we're gonna do to start this stream is we're gonna do those four resets that apparently I gave myself a free. You know, I don't want to be a cheater. So we're just gonna quickly do four resets, and then we will be at 1,000 officially. Actually. Also, I have a notification from my stream software. Please tell me it's not something bad. Okay, it's good. It's fine. I got a notification from my stream software, and whenever that happens, I immediately get worried that like the stream has died. Thankfully, we're still live. All right, four more Charmanders, none of them shiny, and now we can reset, and we'll actually be at 1,000. Because again, apparently I did one amount of resets more on the counter than I did in real life, and I'm not a cheater, so now we're at 1,000, and we can reset. I think while I reset here, I'm also going to turn on the music for the stream. Yesterday, we were listening to like some Pokemon remixes. Today, I don't know. I feel like I need to pick me up. I'm tired. I'm exhausted, low key. So we're gonna listen to like some non-copyrighted EDM. See if I can use that to help keep me awake. I like your hat. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So kind. Yeah. I basically have done nothing since the last stream other than sleep and play Counter-Strike. It almost feels like I went from live streaming this last night to immediately live streaming it again. The only thing that has happened between those two live streams is sleep. And, like I said, one game of Counter-Strike. But, you know, that's just a given. I'm just addicted to Counter-Strike, alright? I have accepted that at this point in my life. I pressed the wrong button. I accidentally pressed the F12 key on my keyboard. Hopefully that didn't mess anything up. I just turned my fucking live stream off. One thing I did do between the last stream and this live stream, though, is I got more water. Alright? I ran out of water in the last live stream, so now we got some more. We're not going thirsty today. Yeah. I know I went on a pretty long rant about this yesterday, but part of the reason I'm like so determined to get back into live streaming consistently, and like I hate using this term, it's almost overplayed. It feels overused, but like the reason I'm back on that grind is fuck, I just tried naming all of my Charmanders. Annoying. Yeah, like the reason we're back on that grind is because I really, really want to just dedicate more time into streaming and specifically like unlock membership tiers, rewards, emotes, unlock like everything I can unlock that I have yet to complete. Like we were talking yesterday about YouTube memberships that I have not yet unlocked, nor have I unlocked like the ability to put emotes in my YouTube chat. So a big part of my determination to stream lately has just been to unlock that kind of stuff so my YouTube chat can be on the same level as the other two platforms. And just so the YouTube stream can be on the same level. Like the fact that I have emotes on Twitch and TikTok but not YouTube yet it frustrates me. It like eats away at me. So I want to try to unlock that shit by just grinding out some live streams. On the 26th of this month, you can get Shiny Crydon and Rhydon from GameStop for Scarlet. Do you just have to show up? Like, is there any requirements to getting their shiny Strack? Okay. 4 more Charmanders. 4 more non-shinies. I really don't know how many resets we're going to do today. I think it depends on when my wife gets home from work, because, like, I don't want to stream a ton tonight when I could be spending time with her, especially because if you were here yesterday, you would have heard me talk about the fact that she wasn't home last night. She went and got a tattoo about an hour away from where we live, and instead of driving home after that tattoo in pain, she just went to her aunt's house and spent the night there because it was right next to the tattoo place, basically. It was right next door. So I didn't even get to see my wife at all yesterday, and she is coming home today after her shift. And I would feel bad if my wife comes home from work and I'm sitting here playing 4 Pokemon games at once instead of paying attention to her. So it genuinely depends when she gets home from work. That could be any time between like 4 and like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So that will kind of determine when we end the stream. Now, granted, if she comes home at 4, probably won't end the stream at like 2 hours. I'll stream for a little bit longer, but not much longer, you know? Gotta have our priorities, boys. If you pour glitter on the screen, then every Pokemon will be shiny. You're so right. You're so right, brother. Dude, speaking of that, there's one time growing up when I was still in high school, living at home. No, it wasn't high school. Sorry, I told a lie. There's one time when I was in college. I think it might have been like my first year of college. That I came home from college and discovered that my sister had poured glitter all over my computer setup as like a welcome home thing, and she was trying to be actually nice about it. Like, her intentions were good, but I was pissed because, like, I didn't even want to leave my computer setup at home my first semester, but like my parents kind of convinced me to leave it at home, one, so I could like focus on school and not just be playing video games all the time, which, if anything, they were right to think that, because once I did have a gaming computer at college, not just my school laptop. Once I had a gaming computer at college, I pretty much never did schoolwork. I only played video games. But like, my parents convinced me to leave my computer at home, and I thought it was a good idea so I could focus on school as well. And then I come home for my first ever semester of college for winter break, and my Christmas present, so to speak, was finding out there was glitter in everything. In my keyboard, my mouse. I had glitter in my ears from the headset. Like, oh, I was pissed. And I never left my computer at home after that. The next semester, after winter break, I took all of my gaming shit to my dorm. And it honestly looked silly because, like, my dorm was so tiny and cramped, and the desk that the college gave us, like just the desk that came with the dorm, was so small that, like, to fit all of my monitors on there, I basically had to have like the main monitor in front and then the other 2 monitors like on the side. It looked like a box just missing one wall. Monitors. But even though it looks silly, and I probably didn't need to bring my whole gaming setup to college with me, nah, I was not going to leave it at home again after that happened. That sounds like it was so much fun to clean up. Yeah, I mean, thankfully it wasn't unbearable. I just kind of used like a little small vacuum type like device, a little shop vac. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I'm at 906 different shinies. For what I'm seeing, you need to show them you have... Oh, okay, sorry. I'm reading your chat messages out of order. So if you go to GameStop for that shiny Pokemon, you need to show them you have Pokemon Home on your Switch. Interesting. So I'm assuming that GameStop would be the one to directly give you that shiny? Like, they're going to be the one to give you the code or access to it. Could be wrong, but... How old was she? I'm trying to think. So, like, if it was my first year of college, then I can kind of do the math. She would have been 12, I think. Give or take. About 12 years old. Oh, wait. I just accidentally clicked that one too many times. And we can't go back on the clicker. Like, I can go back on my on-screen counter. It's okay. The clicker says 129 The counter on screen says 128. We'll fix it next reset. Promise. Y'all want to hear something funny? I actually had a dream about this game, this live stream, whatever you want to call it, last night. I'm so sucked into this series that I'm literally dreaming about it. And the dream I had last night was that we got the shiny, and I was like freaking out. And I remember we specifically got the shiny on the blue Game Boy SP. And I'm not saying that's a sign, but what I am saying is if we do in fact get the shiny today, and it's on the blue Game Boy SP, I am now officially a savant. I am the Long Island medium. I hope you saw the cutscene in your dreams too. Bro. No, this cutscene is going to be in my nightmares. This opening dialogue with Professor Oak and Gary. Actually in my nightmares. "12 years old seems like a misunderstanding." I was imagining she was like 17 or something and should have known better. No, like I said, I don't think it was malicious intent at all. But it was so fucking annoying. I was so mad. I was so mad. Just having all of my computer peripherals doused in glitter. Especially because, like, oh my god, I keep pressing the wrong buttons. I need to lock in. I was locked out in yesterday's live stream. Towards the end of the live stream, I was barely paying attention to the game, which is not good, because I don't want to miss the shiny. But clearly, I have not locked back in since the end of yesterday's live stream. Still in that kind of same state of daze and confusion. Shiny Charmander at 1,150. Alright, I can believe it. I'm hoping. I would be so thankful if we do get the shiny Charmander tonight, because I'm not playing this game at least on stream for the next like 3 days. So that would give me 2 days to actually like work on the game and play the game and try to get ahead in the game. Because I'm going to have to play all 4 games at once to progress to the next shiny hunt and the next shiny hunt. And playing 4 games at once, something that I'm, I don't know, not looking forward to. That sounds bad. That makes me sound like lazy. But come on. Sure, I wouldn't mind playing 1 game at a time, maybe 2 games at a time. Because at least there's slight differences between Fire Red and Leaf Green. But playing 4 games at once, oh, it's gonna be a bit of a grind. And maybe a little bit of burnout, but that's okay. Try my best to not have burnout when it comes to it. Oh shoot, I was pressing on button. I was pressing the B buttons instead of the A buttons. Oh my god, it's Antoine Oos. Sorry. I just got excited. Saw his name. My heart went aflutter. I mean, if you think about it, with 4 games, the next couple shiny hunts should be a lot more speedy and efficient. I mean, we were talking yesterday about shiny hunting Abra at the game corner. And like that, I could probably do with 1 game. Like, having 4 games, I don't even know if that would help me. I'm gonna be so honest with y'all. But it'll be a much quicker shiny hunt than this. That's what I will say. Alright. I think what starts to break my brain as we do the shiny hunt is like just the constant going back and forth between the A and B buttons. I'm just always messing that up. Because you have to press the A button for some things, the B button for other things. And for some reason, I can't get the muscle memory down as to like what button to press when. At least I can't do it in a way that's efficient. Okay. My eyelashes are stuck together. Oh, they're not stuck together. That's just sand in my eyes. I'm telling you, I wasn't lying. All I've done between the last live stream and this live stream is basically sleep. So no wonder I have sand in my eyes. Oh my god. But yeah. I would love to get the shiny. I mean, it sounds obvious to say it out loud, but I would love to get the shiny as quickly as possible. Obviously. But the reason behind that is not just because I'm lazy, because I want good odds, but it's because I want to start grinding all 4 of these games as soon as possible. The earlier I get the shiny, the earlier I can start playing all 4 of these games at the same time, which is going to be a lot of work, and therefore I want to get that work done sooner rather than later. Additionally, like, this is one of the longest shiny hunts in the game. It'll be the longest shiny hunt we do in this series. And therefore, like, if I had to pick which shiny I'd want to get lucky with, it would be this one. Like, going back to that Abra example that we just talked about. If the odds are 1 in 8,000, and I had to pick one Pokemon to get in 3,000 attempts, and another Pokemon to get in 30,000 attempts, God forbid, that would be atrocious. But like, if I had to pick one hunt to be done in 3,000 attempts and one hunt to be done in 30,000 attempts, I would obviously pick the Charmander in 3,000 and the Abra in 30,000, because we would be able to get to 30,000 resets with Abra like 10 times as quickly as we would with this Charmander, just because we don't have to go through this opening cutscene, and we can get multiple Abra at once, just like obtain like 80 Abra at once. It would be crazy. So if I have any karma with the universe, or if I could use up like some of my lifetime luck, I would do it for this shiny hunt. I would use it all right now. Like, if you had a luck meter in real life, I would put all of my luck into this, and then sure, like, maybe I get hit by a fucking bus tomorrow, but that's okay. Because at least we got the shiny Charmander under odds. That's all I want. I want to get this done under odds. Sorry, I'm vibing to this music. We're at like a little rave here. We're at our own personal rave. I don't know how many resets we're going to do today either. Like I said, I think it depends on when Abby gets home. But my goal is at least 500. We've been doing 500 every live stream, if not more. Like 700, 800, that'd be really cool. I think a whole 1,000 resets today would be a good goal to have. So we'll see. Trying to stay optimistic. But like I said, I don't really have a set number in mind for how many resets we're going to do tonight, because it does just genuinely depend on when Abby gets home. I would like to spend some time with her today. It is a little strange thinking about it now that I had a dream we got the shiny. I guess that's not necessarily strange, but I think it is strange that I had a dream we specifically got the shiny on the blue Game Boy. Like, I remember that part of the dream specifically, that it was on the blue Game Boy, it was in the bottom left corner, and I saw it like out of the corner of my eye. I saw the twinkle, and I just got so excited. This stream reminds me of the Let's Go Gambling video. which also fittingly was created on a DS. Shout out Flipnote. Dude, we're just getting bangers back to back. Like, don't get me wrong, this playlist is good, but it has some misses on it. It has some songs I don't really care that much about. We're getting bangers right now, though. Dash Star by Knock 2, come on. Such a good song. I do love the Let's Go Gambling video. That's a top tier video, let me tell you. Absolutely top tier. I can't tell if I'm just not pressing the buttons all at the same time, or if like some of these systems are faster than the other systems. Because like it feels like I'm pressing the buttons at the same time. It feels like all of the games should be going at like the same speed. But then I'm watching the gameplay as I'm doing these resets, and it looks like some games are moving faster than others. Or like some systems are moving faster than others. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe I'm gaslighting myself. I don't know. Got this. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to be playing some Donkey Kong Bonanza, by the way, which I'm very excited to do. I haven't played that game in like a month because, well, I haven't really gone live much in the last month. But also, that game has just been, it's so good. Like, it's so good, and it's a game that I am very excited to get back into. I think of the 4 games I bought for Switch 2 so far, it's my favorite one. This song is called This Track versus My Laptop Fan. I think the Shiny Charmander will be on the Club Penguin DS. See, a lot of other people said that as well. Like yesterday, I asked the whole chat, what do we think the Shiny Charmander is going to appear on? Which system do we think the Shiny Charmander is going to show up on? If I had to put my guess in, I don't know. I want it to be the Club Penguin DS just because I think that would be funny. But I don't know. We had people vote for the blue Game Boy SP, which is very fitting considering I literally had a dream about it last night. We had people vote for the Club Penguin DS, but no one voted for the blue DS or the SNES themed Game Boy SP. If I didn't have that dream where I got the shiny on the blue Game Boy SP, I would probably say the SNES Game Boy SP. But because I had that dream, like I feel like I just believe now. In my heart of hearts, we're gonna get the shiny on the blue Game Boy SP. My dream was an epiphany, and it showed me the future. And the future is getting the shiny on the blue Game Boy SP. That is our future. Dang it, I pressed wrong button. But yeah, like, if I didn't have that dream, I would vote for the SNES Game Boy SP. Only because that is the system that I've played the most. Of these 4 little consoles here, the one that I've spent the most time playing is this one. So like, it just feels right to me that I would get the shiny on the system I put the most hours into. We're bonded, our souls connected, me and the Game Boy SP. Sorry, getting a little weird. I've known. I've never known how to say his name, but I still think it's crazy that you actually know that guy. Especially because like I perfectly fit into that category you just described. Like I only know them as the Let's Go Gambling guy. And don't get me wrong, like I've seen some of his other videos as well. Like I've seen a lot of the flip notes he's put out. But the one that is definitely the most popular and the one that is like the most, I don't know, in my conscious, especially like in my little internet zeitgeist. No, I was pressing the wrong button on this Game Boy. Fuck, man. Fell behind. Unlucky. But yeah, like the Let's Go Gambling video is definitely the one that I've seen online the most. And I'm the most familiar with them as. Or what I'm most familiar associating them with. Okay. We're at 1,088. Pronounced Rax D flip note. I would have never guessed that. I probably would have just said like rad flip note because the X is silent in my brain. And you know, I feel like that would make sense to assume the X is silent. That's how a lot of other people's names work online. Like Drac. His name is Drakstar Jin. X is silent. Totally. The other reason I don't notice when this Game Boy in the bottom left gets off sync with the rest, because my hand is like low-key covering it when I'm pressing the button, so I can't even see the screen. Can't see what I'm doing. It's the only problem with the setup. I haven't figured out a way to do this shiny hunt where you, as the viewer, can see all the screens, and then I can see all the screens as the person playing the game. The only way I figured out how to do it is putting my hands here on all four of the A buttons. But, like, it still blocks this screen, which is annoying. Okay. You can see my hands just, like, vibrating as I press the buttons. We're almost done with our first 100 resets of the stream. I feel like we're moving at a good pace, too. Especially if you consider the fact that I had my stream starting soon screen up for, like, first 10-15 minutes of the stream. We've only been playing for about 20 minutes. I don't know, we're vibing. I feel like the Game Boy SP is the perfect, like, mobile gaming console. Or, I guess portable is a better word. I don't know why I was thinking mobile. People are going to associate that word with, like, smartphones rather than moving around. Yeah, I don't know. I just think the Game Boy SP is, like, the perfect gaming device to, like, take on a train or a bus. Like, sure, the Switch is cool. The Switch is obviously, like, perfectly portable. Like, it fits in both my hands. I can sit here and play it on the train. Like, that's not a problem. But you can't tell me that, like, playing a Game Boy on the bus looks way cooler. Like, more nostalgic. and it just has better aura. Like the Switch makes you look like an iPad kid. If you're holding a Game Boy, it's like, who is that? Oh my god, they're hot. I want to get to know that person. It immediately increases your aura. That's all I'm saying. Game Boy SP, of all the portable gaming systems, I think it has the best aura. And then when you're done with it, you get to your bus stop, you just close it and put it in your pocket. Like, tell me that's not fucking dope. Sorry, keep getting distracted from playing the actual game. And sure, you can, close the DS and put that in your pocket, but it doesn't look as sleek. And like, what if you get a game on the DS that you need to use the touchscreen? Like you're playing Brain Age Academy, and instead of being able to draw the number 3, you draw like a fucking Japanese symbol because the bus you're on just hit a bump and your touchscreen stylus went all over the fucking device. Like, it just, you don't look cool if you're on a bus playing Brain Age Academy. That's all I'm saying. But you do look cool if you're on a bus playing Pokemon Fire Red on a Game Boy SP. And again, I'm not... Sorry. I'm going on this long-ass rant for no reason. Again, don't get me wrong. I love the DS. DS is one of my favorite systems of all time. But the Game Boy SP just has a special place in my heart. Now, you know what doesn't look cool? And you lose aura playing, especially if you're out in public. A Game Boy Micro for 108. I feel like a Game Boy Micro kind of makes you look like a schmuck. And I also like the Game Boy Micro. I'm not talking shit on the Game Boy Micro. But if you're sitting there playing on a little portable console that's like the size of a postcard, like, let me see if I can find something similar in size. I don't even think I have anything that small in my desk. I really don't. Okay, the closest thing I have is a USB. But like, if you're sitting there on the bus playing on a Game Boy Micro the size of a fucking USB, I don't know, man. It just don't look cool. I love the GBA SP. I always wanted one as a kid, but just had a DS Lite. I mean, at least you could still play Game Boy games, but I mean, definitely valid that you wanted an SP. Best portable console, my brother. I'm thinking about buying a bunch of hardware mods for the GBA SP, like better screen and stuff, turning them into a modding project. I've thought about that before, especially because I have modded a few systems throughout my life. Like I modded a that's not a fucking word. What am I saying? Oh my god, I need to go back to bed. I modded a original first model Game Boy Advance. But sorry, I got so distracted. I'm out of it. Something's wrong with me right now, boys. I'm gonna restart this conversation because I've already messed up my words twice, and I lost track of what I was trying to say once. So, I've thought about getting into modding GBA SPs because I've modded a Game Boy Advance, and I've modded a couple other devices here and there. But the SP, from what I've at least read online and the videos I've watched on YouTube, looks like one of the most annoying and complicated gaming systems to mod. So I have a little bit of fear in regards to actually dipping my toes into the modding scene for a GBA SP. I just think it would be maybe a little too difficult for someone like me who has very middling knowledge when it comes to things like soldering or technology. Yeah, I don't know. I would almost be scared that I would break one of my Game Boy SPs. But I do agree with you. I think having a better screen and putting a USB-C charging port in a Game Boy SP would make it like the ultimate retro portable gaming system. We got the same artist back to back. It's kind of surprising for this playlist, especially with how many songs are on this playlist. I've done multiple upper screen replacements on the new 3DS XL, and the GBA SP is like 10 times easier compared to that. Really? See, now you got me a little worried because I think you were here when I was talking about this yesterday. I bought a capture card for the 3DS XL, but the problem with it is a physical internal install. So unlike most capture cards that I have for my systems, like, you know, I have an Elgato capture card that I have plugged into my Switch 2 right now. Like, that's an external capture card. This capture card I bought for the 3DS is the only one I could find, by the way, that's still in production. And you have to, like, physically solder it onto the 3DS, which, again, I'm a little nervous about because, like, I have soldering experience, but it's very middling. My skill is not that good. So I don't know. I'm a little nervous about trying to attach this capture card onto my 3DS. I might use my my dearest father, Papa Wolf, for help because he has much more soldering experience than I do, and I don't want to fuck it up. Like, I don't want to brick my 3DS XL. Fishing that ribbon cable through the hinge still gives me nightmares. Yeah, that was one of the things, like the hinge, like specifically the hinge of the Game Boy SP was the thing I was most worried about when I was looking into modding GBA SPs, and probably like the straw that broke the camel's back in regards to what convinced me not to mod Game Boy SPs. Only the upper screen assembly is difficult in the 3DS. Anything that stays in the bottom half wouldn't be more difficult than any other console. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit less worried because the capture card is obviously going to be attached to the bottom half. One aspect of that installation, though, I'm a little worried about is the capture card is USB-C to USB-A, and the port that is going to be on the 3DS is the USB-C port. But obviously, you know anything about 3DSs, there's no USB-C port on a 3DS. So I'm going to have to take either like an X-Acto knife or like a Dremel and cut out a small piece of the 3DS so the USB-C port can go in there. So I'm basically adding a port to the 3DS, which makes me a little nervous because I don't want to like break the base of the console shell. Like, I don't want the shell to crack anywhere on that bottom half. I don't know. Makes me a little worried. That's what I'll say. I still don't know what I'm going to do yet. Like I said, I might use an X-Acto knife, but that feels like it would be really difficult to cut into the 3DS shell in an even and clean manner. But then, like, I've never used a Dremel before, and I know my dad has a Dremel, so I could probably just borrow his, but, like, I've never used one before, so that also worries me a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Funnily enough, that capture card is supposed to ship and get here by Friday. So this is a project I'll be working on pretty soon. Now, will I immediately then start streaming DS games? Probably not, because I'm still going to be doing this series. But maybe after this series, we'll play like a Pokemon game on DS, and I'll be able to stream it with that capture card and play it on physical, real hardware instead of an emulator, which is honestly how I've had to play a lot of my Nintendo games in the past. Like, before I got my GameCube and the Game Boy Player attachment for the GameCube, if I wanted to play a Game Boy game on stream, I just had to emulate it, which felt not as cool and not as fun. But now, with the GameCube Game Boy Player attachment, and a capture card that I have plugged into my GameCube, I can play Game Boy games on physical hardware, which I'm so excited about, and that's what we're going to play this game on once we find the shiny. That's what we'll do our Let's Play of the game with. Game Boy Player, attached to GameCube, attached to a capture card. That's how we're going to stream it. And it looks sick. Like, it looks clean, so I'm not too upset. The GBASP hinge is actually super easy to deal with, unlike the 3DS. See, that is like crazy for me to hear, because any time I ever like watched a video about modding the Game Boy, or I like read a forum online about like modding a GBASP, everyone talked about the hinge with like horror stories. Like they were a sailor out at sea and they saw a fucking kraken. So it made me really, really nervous to ever get into it, and therefore I never did try modding a GBASP. I got really close. I still probably have some of the components I would need to do it in my Amazon wish list right now. Like I probably have a lot of Game Boy SP parts on my Amazon wish list currently, but I've never pulled the trigger. I got a Mr. FPGA to play Game Boy games laglessly on a real CRT. I think you've talked about this product before. I know you've definitely probably sent me links about it. And you know, I've honestly considered it, because I remember when you sent me one of the links about it, I like looked it up. I don't know why I never actually bought one though, because you've talked so highly about it in the past. Like now I think about it, I don't know why I didn't buy one. It probably would have allowed me to stream these games far sooner than 2025, because we were talking about this like in the past couple of years. We've talked about it a couple times in the past couple of years. I don't know. To be fair though, the past couple of years I've taken a lot of breaks from live streaming, and it was only in like 2025 that I really started taking live streaming like seriously again and treating it like a hobby that I would like to put time and effort into and potentially make like a part-time job. Now, we're not at the point of it being a part-time job yet. It's still a hobby. But at least I have that like determination nowadays, whereas like in 2022, 2023, 2024, live streaming was just like a casual thing for me. I wouldn't even call it a hobby. I just streamed like kind of whenever I wanted to, and sometimes that was maybe 5 times a week. Other times that would be 0 times a week. So my like stream schedule was really inconsistent, and my like dedication to live streaming was non-existent. Whereas in 2025 we've really tried to take this just a bit more seriously, like having actual stream schedules and live streaming to multiple platforms at once, which is something I never really did in the past, to try and just, you know, use that outreach and use that multi-stream as a way to potentially grow faster, and I think it's kind of worked. I don't know, the TikTok chat usually has someone in it. The YouTube chat, almost never, which kind of bums me out, because, you know, I'm a big YouTube user, a big avid fan of YouTube. Now, if I was being honest with y'all, and you asked me if I've ever watched a live stream on YouTube, not really, but, okay, I still love YouTube. Maybe it's hypocritical, though, for me to be upset that no one's in the YouTube chat when, again, I don't even watch YouTube live streams. I watch all of my live streams on Twitch. I use Twitch for live streams, YouTube for videos, and TikTok for, like, short comedy or slop. Or I get a lot of schizophrenics on my For You page. I'll get people that have 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 shares, and 0 views on their video. I'm the first mortal being to ever see their YouTube video. Sorry, TikTok video. Jesus. I'm the first person that ever watches this TikTok video, and they are, like, insane. When I tell you I get legitimate crazy people on my For You page, it's almost concerning. Like, I sometimes feel bad watching those videos, because it's like someone who's clearly not right in the head. But for some reason, my TikTok For You page is either like short comedy videos or schizophrenics. Pretty much nothing else. You would think that I get like gaming videos, but no. No, it's just schizophrenics. Oh god, Angie Black in the chat. Does anyone ever say your name with like a little bit too much emphasis? Angie Black. Like, what do you do about that? What do you say about that? All the time. All the time. We're still doing this? Yeah, we're still doing this, Angie. The odds are like 1 in 8,000. 1 in 8,000 chance of finding a shiny, which is like gambling, but worse. Because instead of being out at a casino with your friends, you got the bright lights playing, and you get that little flutter in your chest when the dealer puts down an ace on top of your king, and you know you got blackjack and you're taking all of their fucking money. Instead of having that kind of excitement, we're just alone in a bedroom playing 4 Pokemon games at once. My wife has left me. My dog ran away. And I'll forever be by myself. So it's not as exciting, but once we do get that shiny, once that roulette table lands on green, I mean, that's just the purest form of dopamine right there. Have you slept? Yeah, of course I slept. But basically all I've done in the last 12 hours is play Pokemon, sleep, and now we're playing Pokemon again. What does the Skyrush clicker say? 1,160. So we haven't lost track yet. I'm using the number on screen and the Skyrush clicker to keep myself honest and double check my work. We've done this 1,160 times, which is so sad to admit. Sorry, I didn't see your message until now, my dearest brother. It has a special chip inside it that can perfectly replicate the CPU of other consoles at a hardware level. So it's experience exactly like original hardware with 0 lag. But like, to what extent though? Because the way you're describing that sounds really cool, but I'd imagine there is a limit. Like, what is the upper limit of that? And don't pull a Lindsay Lohan on me and tell me the limit doesn't exist. I'm just curious, I'm just curious. Do your hands hurt? No. Thankfully, I have a lot of experience with my hands. Fuck. Okay, my bad. We're just gonna end the stream, respectfully. In respect to all the women out there, all the men out there, and my wife, I think I just need to end the stream. And she liked the lie. God damn it. That timing. Fuck me. Thank you for the likes. Thanks for the likes. Oh, damn it. I hear ya. Good luck on getting your shiny. Thank you, Odium. I appreciate it. I appreciate you kindly. Oh my god. So, this is why we're using the clicker, by the way. Because we're at 68 on the clicker, but only 60 on the screen. So we need to increase that. I'm telling y'all, if I didn't have the clicker as a backup, I would probably still have like the number 300 on the screen. I always forget to increase the reset counter on screen. The clicker is the only thing keeping this honest. Thank you for the likes on TikTok. The upper limit is a Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, and Game Boy Advance. Okay, so that is way more believable. Not that I didn't believe you. Sorry. Makes me sound like I didn't trust you. I thought you were lying to me. No, no, no. That limit is far more reasonable. And I think it would definitely be worth it, especially if you're saying that the lag is 0. But at the same time, for all of those consoles that it would be able to play, for example, like the N64, I already own an N64. So I don't know if I would choose that over just attaching a capture card to my N64. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it would be sick, especially like if you want to play specifically on a CRT, that's dope. I just, don't own a CRT. So, my bad. But like I do see the benefits of it. I just don't know if it would benefit me now that I own like every device already and I have a capture card for every device. And I'm not playing on CRT. I think that's another big reason it wouldn't maybe be worth it for me. But maybe if we got some extra spending cash that I'm willing to just throw away, I would probably consider that. I would heavily consider buying that. It would be like one of those things I buy when I have more spending money than someone who is barely able to afford their bills. But all that to say that I do see the appeal of it. That's why we use the clicker. I keep falling behind. Gotta boost the live. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate you. See, you're a real brother. I call some other people my brother, and then they don't even show up for me in my darkest hour. But if I know anything, that if no one got me, at least Angie Black got me. But yeah, to finish that topic from the the Twitch chat before I go back to the TikTok chat. To finish what we were talking about in the Twitch chat, I'm very torn because part of me like would buy it right now. But then another part of me worries that I wouldn't use it enough to make it worth the price. On Giggity. Thanks. Alright. Almost at 200. 1,200. I just should clarify. If Abby does come home before this live stream's over, what should we do? Should we try to like play the game with her? Maybe she plays 2, I play 2? Do we like gaslight her and become like stereotypical toxic boyfriend? Or I could always just fucking end the stream and be a normal husband. Now, what do we think? I mean, Abby said she would play one of these for me. She said it last night. But I don't know if that would be something I would actually ask her to do. I wouldn't ask her to do that. Because, like, I don't want to steal her free time away. And also, I'm very clearly able to play all 4 at once. It just kind of breaks my brain. And I know she, like, offered to help with this series. But I think she's just trying to be nice. I think she is just a very kind, doting, helpful wife. But in reality, well, she volunteered to help me with this series. I know she'd rather just be reading a book, so I'm not going to steal that time away from her, and I will allow her to have her free time in peace. The lag is perfectly 0. It even works with light guns on a real CRT. If you know how 0 lag that has to be. I mean, dude, why do I keep falling behind on this counter here? It's happened like 3 times in the last 5 minutes where I'm clicking the clicker, but I'm not increasing the counter on screen. What is wrong with me? I have no clue. Something's clearly wrong with me. I again, you're convincing me. All right, you're convincing me to like potentially buy it. I just don't know how much use I would get out of it without a CRT. Like, that's the thing. I would have to be convinced to get it for reasons that don't include the CRT aspect of it, because I don't own a CRT, and I stream pretty much all of my games directly on like a monitor. All right. I'll be honest, I've been focusing more on the chat than the actual games. And I almost started turning off the systems without even looking to see if any of the Charmanders were shiny. And that is a scary thought to admit, because if I'm not paying attention to the game, I probably would miss a shiny. We gotta focus. We gotta wake up. We gotta stay alive here. You would think this like music would be hyping me up, waking me up, and keeping me alert, but if anything, it's kind of like helping me fall into this like lull. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've heard all these songs before. Or maybe it's just because EDM doesn't really wake me up normally. It's almost just like white noise. Because I've spent so much time listening to it on live stream, because I have so many different playlists of just non-copyrighted music, and most of it is EDM. Because for some reason, most non-copyrighted music is just some sort of like techno, like lo-fi or like house music, which I don't understand why that is. But I think because I've been listening to it for so long, I can almost tune it out. I was just mentioning CRTs to point out the zero lag aspect of it. It has an HDMI connection, which is much easier to deal with than the analog video of older consoles. That is true. You're making some good points. Because, like, for example, I presently don't have a way to live stream my SNES. Because, like, I don't have a capture card that works specifically for the SNES, nor do I have, like, a way to plug my SNES into any of my monitors, because all my monitors are, like, HDMI. So having a software like that would be able to, you know, allow me to play my SNES would be kind of sick. I can admit that. You're slowly convincing me. Very slowly. I'll give you credit. All right. Oh, I just tried nicknaming my Charmanders. God dang it. I think that's the most infuriating part of this shiny hunt is accidentally nicknaming my Charmanders wastes so much time in between each reset. But yeah, I didn't finish this topic. We low-key just changed the topic without me finishing what I was trying to say. But tomorrow, we're restarting Donkey Kong Bonanza. and we're playing that game again. I should admit maybe the word restarting isn't a correct verbiage because I'm not starting the game from scratch. We're just restarting the live stream series after not playing it for a month. We're reviving that series. We're reviving that live stream. And I'm so excited. Especially because, like, part of the reason I didn't beat the game upon release, and, like, we're still not even anywhere near beating the game now, is because I was just playing way too many games on stream. Like, I had 5 different stream series going on at once. So, I don't know. I think now that we're only playing 1 or 2 games at a time, which is going to be a plan that I'm going to try to stick to, just for my own sake, and also so the series that we are live streaming don't drag on forever. Yeah, like now that we're only playing 2 games at once, Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green and Donkey Kong Bonanza, it should hopefully allow for me to enjoy those games more, and also beat the games that I'm playing on stream much faster. I also just like I love that game. Like, I've been having so much fun playing it, so it's crazy to me to acknowledge that I love the game, but then also admit that I haven't beaten it. I just feel silly saying that. The 4 zebra emojis. Tell me what your favorite Bonanza form is without telling me. Yeah, I don't know. It's a game that I just adore. And it almost makes me sad to admit that we haven't beaten it yet. So I'm excited for tomorrow's live stream because we actually get to start playing it again and working towards beating the game. So. Plus, like, I spent all this money on a Switch 2, accessories for my Switch 2, and then I bought 4 games within the first month of owning a Switch 2, and I've only beaten 1 of those games, and I've barely been playing my Switch 2 as of late. So I think dedicating a lot of future time on live stream to playing Donkey Kong Bonanza would not only be good for getting my money's worth out of this system that I bought and the accessories that I bought and the game Donkey Kong Bonanza that I bought, but it'll hopefully like reignite my desire to actually play the Switch 2. Also, yesterday I complained a lot about back pain, I'll be honest. And I think it was partially because I had worked a 10-hour shift before the stream, and also partially because I was like leaning around the tripod I use to, you know, record these systems. But something I'm trying a little bit different today to hopefully give me less back pain is I'm like almost straddling the tripod, which is why I'm like almost, my head is almost out of the frame for the camera here, because I am practically just straddling my tripod. Hopefully that'll give me less back pain. We'll see. Oh boy. I don't know if it's gonna work though. I don't know if straddling the tripod's gonna help my back pain at all, because we're still like hunched over looking down at these systems that are laying on my desk. Unlike, you know, my computer monitors where I kind of look at a straight ahead direction and I don't have to hunch over. I can like lean back in my chair and play games on the monitor. With these 4 systems, I have to like hunch over to see them. But hopefully, with this new setup, I'll at least have less back pain. I don't expect it to result in zero back pain, but what can you do? All right, keep going. Is anyone gonna get Kirby Air Riders? That's a question I should ask the chat. Because I don't know if I want to get it. I'm still torn. I think I'll wait till this Kirby Air Riders direct comes out. Like the direct specifically for Kirby Air Riders. But like at surface level, at least from what I've seen so far, I don't know, nothing about Kirby Air Riders has really excited me that much that makes me want to get it. Yeah. Unlucky. I'm really hoping when we do get the shiny, it'll stand out like a sore thumb, both in comparison to the thousands of regular Charmander we've seen before, but also just in comparison to the other three Charmanders on screen. Like, it should stand out in contrast to the other three screens. But it barely looks different, which is my one worry with the shiny hunt. What do we think we should get for dinner as well? My wife and I said that we're going to order out tonight. Don't know what I want. I kind of want Chinese, but like, I don't know if anyone else will agree with this belief, this opinion that I have. Maybe I'm alone here, but like, I don't love Chinese takeout that much because in comparison to going to like an actual Chinese restaurant, hell, even in comparison to going to a Chinese buffet, Chinese takeout is usually pretty mediocre when you compare it to like a Chinese buffet or an actual Asian restaurant. Of those three options, the authentic Asian restaurant is going to be number one. But like, I would put the Chinese buffet over Chinese takeout. I think Chinese takeout is like the worst of those three options. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to get Chinese tonight. Maybe I get a pizza. No, but we've had pizza twice in the last week. We made frozen pizza one night that we were like both not feeling in the mood basically to cook. So we made frozen pizza that night, had that for dinner. And then we made like homemade pizzas on flatbread. I say homemade with like almost an asterisk, homemade in quotation marks, because like we didn't make the flatbread ourselves. The sauce was just from a jar. And sure, we grated cheese and put it on there. But again, is grating cheese really that impressive? I don't know. Calling it homemade pizza is a stretch, I will admit. But we've had homemade pizza and frozen pizza in the last week. It's maybe not pizza. I just love pizza. Like, especially some of the places we have around here where we live. We have some good like mom and pop shops that make a good pizza. And then additionally, on top of that, I'll always go for a Domino's. Dude, Domino's is my favorite of the big four. And you might be asking yourself, what's the big four? And if you are asking that, I want you to just admit to me that you're not a pizza connoisseur. The big four pizza chains are Domino's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, and Papa John's. And of those four, Domino's is hands down number one in my heart. I would put maybe Papa John's at 2, Little Caesars at 3, and then the coagulated grease pies that Pizza Hut is at 4. Sorry if you're a big Pizza Hut fan in the chat, but no. Shit ain't for me. That is not for me. But like, I love Domino's. I love almost everything about Domino's more than the other 4 pizza chains. Or other 3, I guess. The only thing that I think Domino's doesn't have the best of is their sauce. I think Papa John's has the best sauce, but Domino's has the best cheese, the best crust, the best stuffed crust. Though pretty much all stuffed crust is the same, so that's not saying much. I just like, again, the like seasoning they put on their stuffed crust as well as the regular crust. And I think Domino's has some of the best toppings. Now again, toppings are also kind of the same. It's very, very samey. A pepperoni pizza you get at Domino's can be very similar to a pepperoni pizza you get at Little Caesars. But I do really, really like some of the more, like, I guess not mainstream, not stereotypical, just not normal toppings that Domino's lets you get. Like diced tomatoes. Not many people are getting diced tomatoes on their pizza. But I love getting diced tomatoes on a Domino's pizza just because it tastes good. It tastes clean. It tastes like how a pizza's meant to taste. Love me a frozen pizza? Same, brother. Same. But yeah, Domino's hands down my number 1. Papa John's number 2. You know, I haven't gone as far as to eat 40 pizzas in 30 days from Papa John's, but I do love me a good Papa John's. Little Caesars is okay. It's good for the price, but the quality is nowhere near Domino's and Papa John's. And like I said, I've already made it very obvious how much I dislike Pizza Hut. So we don't really need to talk about that anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll get a pizza tonight. What else would we eat, though? We could go get fast food, maybe, but I don't want to... I don't know. I don't want to drive too far away. We could get Taco Bell, but okay. Taco Bell has me pissed off lately because they removed my go-to item from the menu. The thing I would always get from Taco Bell was the $7 Lux Cravings box. And I specified the $7 one because there was also a $5 one and a $9 one. But I would get the $7 Cravings box. And for some reason, they removed the $7 Cravings box off the menu, but there's still the $5 one and the $9 one. Now, I think I know the reason why they removed it. It's because it was like a financial loophole, okay? The $5 box, you get 2 tacos, a side, and a drink. But neither of those tacos are very good. The options that they allow you to choose from in the $5 box are very, very cheap options. The $9 box allows you to get 3 tacos, a side, and a drink. And those options are usually like some of the most premium options Taco Bell is currently offering. But the $7 box was kind of a good middle ground where you could get 3 tacos, a side, and a drink, and you could pick like some of the more medium priced and middling quality Taco Bell items. Like you could get a fucking chalupa, which I love. Or you could get a cheesy gordita crunch, which I also love. So what I would do is I would get the $7 box and I would get like a chalupa, a beefy 5-layer burrito, a soft taco, cinnamon twists as my side, and then obviously a Baja Blast. You're a Taco Bell. What the fuck else are you ordering? And then oftentimes I have multiple rewards on my Taco Bell app because I've convinced like almost everyone in my family to just order Taco Bell off of my app, which means there's pretty much always a reward waiting for me to use on that app. So then I would use the reward to get like a cheesy gordita crunch. So if you're keeping track at home, with that free reward and the $7 box, my total would normally be $7 and some change, for 4 tacos, a side, and a drink. Like, that's fucking insane. $7 for 4 tacos, a side, and a drink? That's crazy. And they took the $7 box away. And now, like, again, the $9 box still exists, and you can technically do the same thing with the $9 box. But it's, first off, $2 more expensive, which pisses me off. And secondly, I'll be 100% honest with you, I don't like a lot of the options in the $9 box. Because they're supposed to be like Taco Bell's more premium options. But I find when Taco Bell tries to go out and be fancy, it ends up being disappointing. Because it's Taco Bell. Like, it's supposed to be gruel. It's supposed to be trash food. And then when they try to make something fancy, like, it doesn't have the same appeal because you could go eat that actual fancier food at a real restaurant and it'll be 10 times better. But you know what isn't 10 times better than a Taco Bell item? A beefy 5-layer burrito. Because that is cheap, and it's supposed to be cheap, and you're not going to find it for the same price and the same quality anywhere else. Like, again, I think that is the appeal of Taco Bell. Their trash food is so good because it's so cheap, and it tastes so much better than, you know, going and ordering a beefy 5-layer burrito equivalent at a restaurant. It's not going to be as good as Taco Bell. But I don't know, man. It makes me, like, unjustifiably angry that they took away the $7 box, because that was my go-to order. And I realized that I probably should not be as upset about a Taco Bell menu item as I am. But I'm just pissed. Oh, I'm pissed. My daily routine last year was to clock out from Hershey Park and immediately drive straight to the Pizza Hut after every shift to eat a pizza. I'm so sorry, brother. I'm so sorry. See, now I feel bad that I was shit-talking Pizza Hut because I only did that under the kind of belief no one in the chat would be that big of a Pizza Hut fan. So I thought I could get away with shit-talking Pizza Hut without directly clocking anyone. I'm so sorry, my brother. And, you know, I'm glad that you love Pizza Hut. I'm glad that you're one of the people keeping Pizza Hut in business. Because I would never wish bankruptcy or closure upon any business, unless that business is, like, selling racism. Like, you know, I'm glad Pizza Hut's still in business, and you're probably a big reason of that. So, I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad Pizza Hut's happy. It just doesn't make me happy, I'm gonna be so honest with you, my boy. God damn it. I'm so sorry. Now I feel bad going on that long fucking rant about how I hate Pizza Hut. Shit. That's my bad. That's my bad. Only game I 100% am buying is still just Yuka Replay League. 75% chance of buying Galaxy 1+2 and Metroid Prime. I think I might get Metroid Prime. I don't know if I'll get it right away, though. There's so many other games I want to play right now. I would maybe buy Metroid Prime if I, like, start clearing out a lot of games in my backlog, and I start beating a lot of games, and then Metroid Prime moves up my priority. You know? But right now, Metroid Prime's kind of in the middle of my priority list. It's not at the bottom. Like, I have some games in my backlog that I could not care to ever play in my lifetime. Like, an example on Steam that I don't know if anyone will know about. I just own the game because when I first joined Steam, like 10 years ago, which is crazy to admit that I've been on Steam for like 10, 11 years. When I first joined Steam like a decade ago, there was a game that was free called Heroes and Generals, and it was pretty popular because it was free. But I only played it like 2 times, and then I never went back and played it again. And while I technically have that game included on my current backlog, like I have it listed down on a Google Doc, I don't think I'm ever going to play it. So Metroid Prime is at least above games like that, but it is below games like Red Dead Redemption, Skyrim. Fucking, like, I have all of the Far Cry games and I've only played one of them. Like, those types of games are above Metroid Prime on my in my priority list. So I might get it. but it might be a while till I play it. I'm definitely not buying Galaxy One Plus 2 though, because I already own both of those games for the Wii, and I also have Galaxy One because I have Super Mario 3D All Stars on the Switch. So like, I have two copies of Galaxy One and one copy of Galaxy 2 already. I don't need another copy of each game, and I think it's absurd that they're probably going to charge like minimum $60 for that. Yeah, I don't know. Just makes me salty. I created my Steam account in 2012 so I can play Sonic Generations. They didn't release because they didn't release Sonic Generations on the Wii U. That's crazy. That's a long time ago. Yeah, like my Steam account. How old is it actually here? While I let this opening cutscene play, let me check real quick. Oh no, I spelled the word Steam wrong. What is wrong with me, brother? How old? Oh my god, my Steam profile page is glitching the fuck out. Wait, why can I not? Give me a second. Oh no. Hold up. I don't know how to find my Steam account age. Am I dumb? I know I could just check the badge. But finding that badge is going to take me a while because I have 235 badges on Steam. Is there a quicker way to find the age of my Steam account other than looking at the badge that tells you your Steam age? Oh, am I just stupid, boys? I might be stupid, chat. How to check Steam account age. I'm going to search this up real quick. Okay, it's called the Years of Service badge. I can find that pretty quickly then if I just search by A to Z. Search my 235 badges A to Z, and then scroll down to Y. Years of Service. 13. Wow, it's 13? I thought that my Steam account was only like 10, 11 years old. Now, January 31st, 2012. Damn, we both started our Steam accounts in 2012. That's funny, actually. It's very funny. Huh. That's older than I thought. Interesting. But yeah, so like back when I first started my Steam account, there was a game that was free on Steam called Heroes and Generals. I'm probably never playing that game. And there's a handful of games that I not only have in my Steam library, but also a handful of Switch games, Nintendo games in general, that I probably will never play. So sure, while I have a lot of games on my backlog in reality, it's probably only like 100 or 200 games deep that I care enough to play. So, Metroid Prime, we'll probably play it at some point before I, perish. But don't know when. I just finished reading the rest of your message, brother. And I think it's so funny that you said the rest of the games coming out on Switch 2, I will only play if I happen to see a YouTube short that makes the game look interesting. Relatable. I'm having fun playing Borderlands 4. I have Borderlands 4 on my wish list, but I've heard like it got very mixed reviews. So I haven't bought it yet. And also, like, I almost never buy games at full price anymore. Especially not on Steam. On Steam, I wait till a game goes on sale. Now, when it comes to like Nintendo games, they almost never go on sale nowadays, so I will buy Nintendo games at full price just because I've accepted they're never going to drop that sticker price down. Like, if a game releases at $60, it's still going to be $60 a whole year later, let alone 10 years later. So, again, I've just kind of come to accept that with Nintendo games. But with Steam games, I usually wait to at least like a 50% off sale. I own Galaxy One Plus 2 on the Wii and Wii U eShop. but I'm still buying them for the 4K res and how special the games are to me. That's fair. I do love Super Mario Galaxy. Super Mario Galaxy 2, I think I don't have like as nostalgic of a memory for it because like I personally as a kid didn't like find that the game was enough of an evolution for me. That's what I'll say. Like it's the same with a lot of sequels though, and I'm someone who almost has a bias against sequels because unless it is like hands down undeniably the better game compared to the original, I must have this inherent bias against sequels because in my like very, I don't know, in in my like blissfully ignorant heart, I have so much love for like a lot of original games that when I play the sequel, they don't meet those expectations. I'll give you another example. Final Fantasy 1, the game that started that franchise. I adore. And I realize it's, looking back, not actually that great of a game. It's a very basic turn-based JRPG. But because Final Fantasy 2 didn't really improve that much, I almost have this bias against Final Fantasy 2. And I don't view Final Fantasy 2 very highly in my headcanon. Like, if I rated the Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy 2 would definitely be in, like, the bottom half of those ratings, whereas Final Fantasy 1 would be in the top half of those ratings, based off pure nostalgia for Final Fantasy 1 and how much I love Final Fantasy 1. But I just didn't think 2 evolved the game enough where I thought it was better than the original. And if a game isn't better than the original, especially as the sequel, the next game that comes out, I almost, like, have a negative opinion about it. And I know a lot of people think that Super Mario Galaxy 2 is the better game, and there is that argument. But at least, like, for me, and the things I liked about those games, I didn't think Super Mario Galaxy 2 was better. So, I don't know. Like, I've always had this unfair bias against Super Mario Galaxy 2. And I'll admit, it is an unfair bias against that game. But, like I said, the same could be said for a lot of games. Like, going back to the Final Fantasy example, it took until, like, Final Fantasy 5 or 6 where I thought those games were getting better than the original. But that's only because I had such a nostalgic love for the original. Like, the original is probably one of the worst games on an unbiased ranking. Like, I think 3 is better than the original, but I didn't love 3 the first time I played it because I had a bias towards Final Fantasy 1, and I had an unfair bias against Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 4. Final Fantasy 5 was kind of like the first game to break that bias because I loved some of the characters and the storylines in that game. But yeah. I'm trying to think of like another franchise where that applies to. I mean, it's almost unfair to bring up the Zelda franchise because Zelda 2 is such a different game than Zelda 1. But it's the same thing. Like, I low-key look back at Zelda 2 with almost like disgust. Which is kind of sad to admit because if you accept Zelda 2 for what it is and accept that it's like almost a completely different genre of video game than Zelda 1, it's actually a pretty good game. But growing up, I thought it was a terrible game because I thought it was so much worse than the original. And again, my mentality is like, if you make a sequel and it's worse, that's like even worse. That gets you less points. You lose more points in my ranking system if you make a sequel and it's worse. So like Zelda 2 is an example of that, or like Super Mario Bros. And again, that's a very, very different game. The sequel to Super Mario Bros. Is just like the sequel to The Legend of Zelda, where the game is almost a different genre. I mean, it's still a 2D platforming game, but it's so different in concept than any of those original Super Mario Bros. Games. And because of that reason, I always had this unfair bias against Super Mario Bros. 2, and I just did not like the game. maybe I'm just learning about myself today, learning that I just hate sequels, which isn't true entirely. Like, I love the second Pokemon games. I think Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal were way better than Red, Blue, and Yellow. But like, I will admit I have higher standards for sequels, maybe unfair standards for sequels. So it's difficult for a sequel to impress me. That's why like I dislike Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl so much, because I think they are terrible remakes of Diamond and Pearl. Not because the game is actually that terrible, but because it doesn't improve upon Diamond and Pearl. So like if you're gonna make a remake of a Pokemon game, I'm expecting it to be better. Not just better, significantly better. And I thought Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were like probably about the same in quality as the originals. And therefore I am much more harsh when it comes to my opinion of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Because again, why would you fucking make a remake and then that remake is not better than the original game? So I don't really like those games. But on the contrary, games like Pokemon Black and White 2 are literally, and I'm not exaggerating, my favorite game of all time. Pokemon Black and White 2 is ranked #1 in all of the games I've ever played. And I think part of the reason I love it so much is because it improved upon the original so much. And it also is just a phenomenal game. It's a beautiful masterpiece of a video game. But yeah, so like, while I definitely have a bias against sequels, it's not like a guarantee. It's not universal. If you hate sequels, then why are you making 8,000 sequels to the same Pokemon gameplay? God damn. You got me there, brother. Maybe that's why I don't like shiny hunting to the fullest extent. I don't like it as much as other people. Shiny hunting is something that like I enjoy because I like Pokemon, but I don't enjoy the actual process of shiny hunting. The Pokemon fan of me loves shiny hunting. The gamer in me does not like shiny hunting. What the fuck? I pressed wrong button, I guess. Just closed out of my party. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's not that I hate all sequels. Because, like I said, there are examples within the Pokemon franchise that I like. Or, like, I'll give you a non-Pokemon example. Mega Man. I love Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 is one of my favorite Mega Man games of all time, and I think it's so much better than Mega Man 1. So, to almost defend myself a little bit, to defend myself from the accusations I am slinging onto myself, the accusations I'm accusing myself of, I don't think I hate all sequels. I just have a higher standard for them. And when that standard is met and surpassed, it makes me like those sequels even more. Because, like, games that can surpass the originals have such a high ranking in my heart and, like, a high ranking on my list of video games. Like Black and White 2, or Mega Man, or Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I think it's also why I like Fire Red and Leaf Green so much, because they are much better games than the original Red and Green. That's why I wanted to play these games on stream, because I love them so much. Alright. We're kind of rolling this stream. 300 resets already. Dude, this song is also dope. We've been getting a lot of good songs on the playlist today. Party Favor by Jackknife and J Sounds. I used to use this song as like intro music for my stream a long time ago. Because back in the day, I would like try to use different songs every single live stream as the intro music. Like, and looking back, that was such a stupid thing. It was so much work for no reason. I just wanted to have like different music to introduce every live stream. But one of the songs that I would most commonly play in that rotation of music was this song. I would play this song a lot in my intro scene. Nowadays, I usually just play the same album for my intro and outro music. Because while maybe it's a little redundant that I play the same intro and outro music every live stream, at the very least, it saves me a lot of time and it's way less work than trying to find different songs every single live stream. And I also really like the album. It's a dope kind of techno album that has very like strong vaporwave vibes, which also just fits the theme of my intro and outro screen to begin with. My intro and outro stream scenes are both very heavily vaporwave inspired, so the music also sounding like in that same vaporwave genre is very fitting. Imagine if every button press you were doing, you had to be nearly frame perfect, or the GBA auto powers off. Then you get the game I put 10,000 hours into. I'm assuming you're talking about Geometry Dash. But I won't lie, I was a little confused for a second because I'm like, what Game Boy game requires you to be frame perfect? Like, I was trying to think of an actual real Game Boy game. Oh my god, well maybe if I didn't read your chat messages out of order, I would have seen that you were talking about Geometry Dash. This gameplay reminds me of Geometry Dash, except without the frame perfect inputs. That's my fault, honestly. That's my fault for reading the chat messages out of order. That was on me, I can admit that. So salty. Yeah, I think I made one YouTube video of Geometry Dash back in the day. Maybe 2 videos Geometry Dash. It wasn't many because I was terrible at the game and I got frustrated with it pretty quick. But I do remember playing at least Geometry Dash once for my old YouTube channel. I wonder if I can find that video. I don't know. It might be unlisted at this point or deleted. That's okay. I think I did definitely remove that video either by unlisting it or deleting it because the first episode of the series, calling it a series is a little silly considering I only uploaded like 2 videos. But the first video was me trying to beat the first ever level. Oh my god, I can't speak. I'm stumbling on my fucking words. The first video of Geometry Dash I ever uploaded to YouTube was me trying to beat the first level of Geometry Dash. And it was about an 8-minute video that was edited down a little bit, so it wasn't just 8 minutes of raw footage, but it was an 8-minute video where I didn't even beat the level. I did not succeed. And then I think in the second and only other video I uploaded of Geometry Dash, I did successfully beat the first level, but then I never played the game again because I was never able to beat any other level in a reasonable amount of time. I don't want it to make it seem like I'm a fucking idiot. Like I'm a game journalist who can't beat a video game. But I probably put about like a couple hours into Geometry Dash and I could only beat the first level in those hours of gameplay. Like after a couple hours of playing the same level over and over again and only beating the first level after those hours of gameplay, I immediately knew that the game was not for me. I was not going to be good enough at it, and it's going to be too much of a grind. Yeah, looking back on that, it's actually kind of embarrassing because what was I thinking? Like, I must have been an insane person, just like really, really dumb as far as like my standard of content. My standard of content back then was definitely lower, but it was also stupid of me to think that like uploading an 8-minute video of playing the first ever Geometry Dash level and not beating it was good content. And then uploading a second video where I did beat the first level, but then never played another level after that, was also good content. Spoiler alert, it was not good content. But, you know, that was like over a decade ago. My first ever YouTube video was uploaded in like 2012. And again, my quality of content as well as my like standard of content was far lower. Like I would upload 15-minute long videos with no edits. Just 15 minutes straight of raw footage. And a lot of silence, because I clearly did not have the skills to talk for 15 minutes straight, no breaks. Let alone did I know like what to talk about. So that's why I've deleted a lot of my like videos that are a decade plus old, because they're just not good. And like I said, I didn't put a lot of editing work into my videos for the first couple years I uploaded on YouTube. I would just upload raw footage, which looking back is very, very cringy. Somebody from work added me on Steam last week and said I needed mental help after seeing my hours on Geometry Dash and Factorio. What are your hours again? I know I could look it up. I'm friends with you on Steam. I could easily look it up right now, but just to save me the hassle, and that way I can keep playing this wonderful little game here. Can you remind me what your hours are? Because there's one game I have on Steam that I do not like admitting the amount of hours I have in, because it's very embarrassing and it's a very like toxic, cringy game with a very toxic, cringy community. Spoiler alert, the game I have the most hours on Steam is Counter-Strike at 2,900. We're almost at 3,000. But I don't like admitting that because it's very embarrassing to tell people that I've dedicated almost 3,000 hours of my life to Counter-Strike. Like, I really don't like saying that out loud. Now, the game I have the second most amount of hours in is far less embarrassing. It's actually a game I'm proud to have 1,000 hours in, and that's Warframe. I do love Warframe. Though, technically, the game I probably have the most amount of hours in is Minecraft, but Minecraft does not log the amount of hours played. So, I can't say for sure whether or not Minecraft will be my number one, my number two, my number three. I can say with complete certainty I've definitely put at least 1,000 hours into Minecraft, but I don't know how many thousands of hours. Like, it's probably more than Warframe, because the amount of hours I have in Warframe is like just barely over 1,000. So I definitely have more hours in Minecraft than Warframe, but I wouldn't be able to say with certainty if I have more hours in Minecraft than Counter-Strike. So like I said, Counter-Strike's sitting at 3,000 hours, and that's a lot. And I don't know if Minecraft would be anywhere near that. But it also could be way above that. It's too difficult for me to estimate. And it is a bit of a bummer that Minecraft doesn't track your hours, because I would love to know. But, at the very least, of the 3 video games I've put over 1,000 hours into, I can be proud of 2 of them. That's not a terrible ratio. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I love Warframe, I love Minecraft. Counter-Strike's just a little embarrassing to have on that list. I'm still addicted to the game. Like I'm talking shit on Counter-Strike right now, like I didn't play Counter-Strike last night. It's just an addiction at this point. But at least on the bright side, it's a better addiction to have than like fucking heroin. So I should maybe be happy about that. Count my blessings. You know what I mean? But it's definitely an addiction, and that's not a good thing. Like no exaggeration, it is a straight up, full blown addiction. I have 8,000 hours each in Geometry Dash and Factorio. Oh my god. But you know, at least you could be proud of one of those games for sure. And hey, maybe you're proud of both of them. But I wouldn't be too hard on yourself because, like, Factorio, that's like a humble brag. I think it's cool you have 8,000 hours in Factorio. So, you know, I think that's something worth bragging about. Geometry Dash, on the other hand, and again, maybe I'm just biased because I suck at Geometry Dash, but also some of the Geometry Dash videos I've seen from the community, it causes me concern for those players. One of my favorite TikToks that I've saved recently, because whenever I see a funny TikTok, I want to save it and show it to my wife. One of my favorite ones was top 5 Geometry Dash rage moments. And then when I showed it to my wife, I think she was like genuinely concerned because I was laughing at it. I thought it was so funny. And she looked at me like I was showing her like videos of people dying. Because honestly, that's kind of what it sounded like. The PS4 version of Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. You have 1,566 hours in it? Or 1,560. You have 1,569 hours in it. Sorry. That's not a bad game either, though. I think that's another game you can be proud of. PS5 version of Minecraft, I have 143 hours in. That is actually interesting. I didn't know the PlayStation 5 tracked your hours. Because now that I think about it, my Switch 2 probably has, like, at least my Switch Minecraft hours. Let's check. Let's check real quick. How many hours do I got in Minecraft? What do we think here? Let's find out. Oh. It's not going to show me how many hours I have because I haven't played it in the last 20 games. I think it's one of the stupidest things about the Switch. It only shows you like 20 most recent games in your play activity. Give me one moment here, chat. Let me open up Minecraft so I can see how many hours I have. Where is Minecraft? Did I not install it on this? No, I did reinstall it. Oh, but it has an update. All right, we'll wait for Minecraft to update, and then we'll see how many hours we have in it. I'm just going to put it on my desk here. What was I doing? Oh yeah, shiny hunting. But I don't think I'll have like an impressive number of hours on the Switch version of Minecraft because the PC version, Java edition specifically, is the version of Minecraft that I have like 90% of my playtime in. So it's still going to be like impossible to try and calculate that mathematically. Dang, my Minecraft update is going to take 15 minutes. Oh my god. We're going to be waiting for that for a while. By the time Minecraft updates, we're not even going to be talking about this topic anymore. Unlucky. A wise man once said the definition of a certain word is trying the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Are you calling me insane, brother? You're like half right. I think you have to be a little bit insane to shiny hunt Pokemon, especially shiny hunt in these older games where the odds are 1 in 8,000. You definitely got to be a little insane. Unlucky. Hey, my Minecraft update's going a little bit faster, though. It's down to 10 minutes already. Speeding up. The worst part is, I don't even need to play the game. I don't even really want to play Minecraft on the Switch right now, because I'm playing Pokemon. The only reason I need Minecraft to update is so I can see how many hours I have, which is so obnoxious. Oh my god, why do I keep doing that? For some reason, my muscle memory is just fucked up, and whenever I get into the game, I open my bag instead of opening the Charmander, receiving the Charmander, and then looking at it in my party. Like, it's 3 simple steps, and I still mess it up. Just finished reviewing your first stream. How's it going? I like that you use the word reviewing. Like it's a piece of analytical media. Like you're editing a thesis paper. It's going alright. It's going alright. Made some pretty good progress. We've been live for 2 hours. But if you take into the fact that like I had an intro screen going for like 15 minutes, we've done 360 resets in an hour 45, which is not bad. Not bad at all. 360 resets in almost 105 minutes. Not bad. Obviously, we could be moving a little bit faster, but it doesn't help that I keep messing up, like right here. Let me send you my notes. Yeah, thanks. I'll make sure to review them tonight. Okay. 1,364. I never used the word insane, my dearest brother. You said it, not me. Oh, you're so right. Maybe I am insane. Maybe I just imagined that. Oh wait. Minecraft is going to let me start playing, even though the update's not done. Which is all I need to do. I just need to open up the game. I'll let it open to the menu screen here. And then software update is required. Later. That's fine. Go home, and now will it show me how many hours we have in Minecraft? Oh, yes, it does. We played Minecraft. You probably can't see it because the camera's so bad. 195 hours of Minecraft. Wow. That's more than I thought on the Switch. But still, way less than the number of hours I put into Minecraft on PC. I wish, man. I wish I would know how many hours I had in PC Minecraft. I wish there was a way to check, because I have a feeling it would be absurd. I'm gonna let that Minecraft update finish before I turn the Switch off. I'm just gonna be updating Minecraft in the background, boys. Don't mind me. Okay. I made sure to charge all of these systems last night. That way we have good battery power for this stream. Hopefully, none of these start dying off on us today. Because I want to go live for as long as I can. Basically as long as possible until Abby gets home. Oh shoot, my phone's dying. Sorry. Give me a second. I'm going to pause. Gotta scoot my chair back so I don't kick my tripod with my knee. I will be right back. I realize now my phone is not on the charger, or the charger's not plugged in because it's about to die. I see the low power message. And I would like my phone to be charging while I'm live streaming. Like the only good thing my phone could be doing not using it for anything. Like, that's at least my mentality. If I'm not using my phone for anything, I might as well be charging it. But it wasn't charging. Unlucky. Alright, sorry about that. My phone is charging now. We're good. We're chilling. Everything's fine. Alright. Big chilling. I think it just got detached from the charger somehow, because the charger is plugged in, but the phone wasn't attached to it properly. My fault, honestly. I was the one that plugged it in. What was I doing? Oh yeah, shiny hunting. Okay. Let's get it. Back at it. I'm locked in now. I got my phone on the charger. I got Minecraft updating in the background. We are locked in. We're multitasking. Not only are we playing 4 games at once, but I'm doing like 3 other things in the background. Okay. Beautiful. How have you been, random girl? It's nice to see you today. Alright. Still have sand in my eye from this morning. Yikes. Okay. I don't know why, I have this feeling we're gonna get the shiny right now, actually. No, I have a feeling we would get it today. And I think it's because I had that dream last night where we got the shine. That dream really set up my expectations for failure. Okay. But I am overly optimistic because I had a dream we got the shiny last night that now, almost ignorantly, I think that we're going to get the shiny today. Alright. Caleb received the Charmander from Professor Oak. Do you want to nickname your Charmander? Fuck no. And then Gary's bitch ass is gonna take Squirtle. Not because he likes it, but because he wants to spit in my face. And just like that, 4 more regular Charmanders. Oh. We're at 1,380. The number on screen has once again fallen behind. This clicker is honestly a lifesaver. I'll be so real with you boys. Clicker is a lifesaver. See, I don't know how I did shiny hunts in the past, because it has been a couple years, I'll be honest. But, like, when I would shiny hunt on Pokemon Sword, back in the day, I only used the number on screen. Sorry. I only used the number on screen. So, like, I didn't have any way of double-checking my work, and I don't think I messed up that badly back then. Like, I don't think I forgot to increase the counter that much back in the day, but like maybe I did and I just wasn't noticing. I don't know, Drac, you were in a lot of those old shiny hunting streams. Was I like constantly forgetting to increase the reset counter? Maybe I've just lost my touch. Maybe because it's been so long that I've shiny hunted that I've lost like the muscle memory of always resetting and increasing that reset counter for every single Pokemon. You would think that like I would be able to develop that muscle memory again quickly, but for some reason it just feels like I've lost that muscle memory, that skill, that ability completely. Like my ability to simply increase a number on screen is gone. I don't have it. I'm out of my prime, boys. Not too often. Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't think I was like messing up that much back in the day. I started doubting myself, especially after these last two live streams where I've made so many mistakes. Hey, Minecraft's done updating. Okay, just gonna put my Switch 2 back on the dock then. Cool. All right. Beautiful. All right. We keep going. Shit, I pressed wrong buttons. This is what I mean, man. My muscle memory is just gone. I used to be so good at this back in the day. And now I'm just a washed shiny hunter. Need to retire. I'm out of my prime. Okay. Beautiful. My dog is barking. I wonder if that means Abby's home. Possible. I almost hope she's not going to be home yet because I don't want to end the stream yet. I at least want to get the 500 resets. What time is it? Oh, damn, it is 4 o'clock. So, like, she could be home right now. 4 o'clock would be, like, the earliest time she'd be home, though. Usually she's home by, like, 5, 6. If it's a late day, 7. So fingers crossed she's not home yet. Cause I said I was going to end the stream when she got home, but I don't want to end the stream yet. Dude, my eye is itchy right now. But I don't want to take my hands off the buttons. I don't know how, but I still have sand like stuck in my eyelashes from when I woke up this morning. Oh. We're at 1,396. Let's update the reset counter accordingly. Okay. I will say, it is very rewarding watching the counter go up so quickly because we're playing 4 games at once. Like, I remember back when I first started shiny hunting on Sword and Shield, like, the one thing I really didn't like about it is how slowly some of the resets would be, and how slowly that counter would go up. Like, it took me multiple streams to get to 1,000 resets. Meanwhile, with this process, we got to 1,000 resets in 2 streams, and now this stream we're only making that number go up even higher because we get to do it 4 times at once, which is really nice. Okay. This is such a good song. I'm locked in. I feel it. I feel the energy running through my veins. I feel the shiny on the tips of my fingers right here. On the tip of my tongue. On the tip of my... Sorry, too far. Okay. God dang it. Must have been feeling something else. Some sort of other sensation on my tip. Sorry. Let's reset again, boys. We reset again. It's crazy what we can get away with saying when Abby's not here. Oh, that's funny. Alright, A button. Spam A. Once we get the Charmander, we spam B. The rest of this cutscene, just B. Beautiful. We're locked in. So this is how it should work, by the way. Once this Pokemon screen comes up, we spam the A button. Continue spamming the A button to get through this title screen. Once we get to this black and white screen, that's like a recap of the last time we played, B button. Then back to the A button to pick Charmander. Then once we pick Charmander, we go back to the B button, so we don't say yes when Oak asks us if we want to name Charmander. And then we spam through the B button to get through Gary's dialogue as well. And then we can check. See, that's how it should work optimally. That's like the most efficient way to do it. But I'm constantly messing up and slowing down the process. I have all Gen 1 and Gen 4 shinies. I need 1 more from Gen 2, 9 more from Gen 3. What do you need from Gen 3? I'm intrigued. Especially because Gen 3 is like one of my favorite generations. Impressive you got everything from Gen 4, though. I will say that. Some of those are tough. Okay. All right. Oh, 1416. We're grinding. We are grinding, my boys. My dog is barking again. I don't know what he's barking at. Maybe someone's trying to break into our house. I don't know. Bro's barking again. I don't think you can hear him, though, because he's pretty far away. Hopefully, the mic's not picking that up. He's very far away. I know he doesn't need to go out, because I let him out before this stream. We've only been live for 2 hours, so he definitely does not need to go out again. I just don't know what he's barking at. I think he's barking because he's a dog. Why didn't I think of that, bro? See, every day I'm just proving more and more, and I have more and more examples of just the scholars in our chat. I'm glad that I'm developing a chat of constructive thinkers, you know? Intellects. Some other streamers, their chats are like all children or like degenerates. I'm not gonna name names, but you know the streamers. I'm glad that my chat is where intellectuals come to discuss. They don't chat, they ponder. Sorry. Where are we at? Let's get it. To be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to watch Rick and Morty. So right, bro. Second. One thing I've always wondered, can you go back and like see timestamps for TikTok chats? No. You can only reply. Unlucky. Oh. Press wrong button. My bad. My bad. That's on me. That's on me. I'll be honest, when I was a kid, I was buying either red or green off of my friend. Because again, when I first started getting video games, I had to like buy them myself. And a lot of the games I got were like secondhand from family members or friends. Like the first game I ever owned was Pokemon Ruby because my cousin gave me the game. But then like the second Pokemon game I ever owned was buying a copy of Pokemon Red off of one of my friends. However, he offered me either red or blue and just let me pick which one I wanted to buy. Whichever one I didn't buy, he was going to keep. And because I was a child and a little dumb, I thought that like if you played Pokemon Blue, you could only pick Squirtle as your starter, and if you played Pokemon Red, you could only pick Charmander as your starter. So I bought Pokemon Red off him because I wanted Charmander. Like, I very ignorantly thought that like you could only get Charmander in Pokemon Red. Which, you know, considering I was a kid and also the branding of those two games, it's not a crazy thing to think. Sorry, just gotta leave a little note here for myself. Okay. Let's keep going. I got a Switch 2 yesterday, and the only thing I don't like so far is the controller that you attach the Joy-Cons to. I kind of agree with that. I think the Joy-Con grip is a little weird for the Switch 2. But most of everything else I like better on the Switch 2. Like, I love the Switch 2 Pro Controller. I think the Switch 2 Pro Controller is way better than the Switch 1. It just feels more comfortable. It has a better, like, material. Like, it feels like a cloud in your hands. Whatever material they use to build it is so good. I love the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. I love using the Switch 2 Joy-Cons as mice, though my one complaint about that is it's not very ergonomical to hold a Switch 2 Joy-Con on its side in your hand and try to use that as a mouse. I wish there was like an attachment that made it bulkier and almost have like the shape of a computer mouse. That's how we... sorry, I just stumbled over my words. That attachment probably exists by like third-party companies who have definitely already made something like that. But Nintendo has yet to make something similar to that hypothetical attachment that I just described, and I wish they would, because I'd obviously much prefer to buy that attachment from Nintendo directly than like a third-party company. But I definitely want some sort of attachment that makes using the Joy-Con like a mouse less uncomfortable and more ergonomical. Why didn't we get Pokemon Water Blue, but we got Fire Red? You know, I think because it's developed in Japan, they just gave themselves the priority because Red and Green were the games in Japan and Red and Blue were the games in America, and they just didn't care about our American feelings, which is kind of fucked up, kind of mean. So instead of making Water Blue and Fire Red, they made Leaf Green and Fire Red, which, you know, I will remember that. I don't know why I said that like a Telltale game. Caleb will remember that. Japan isn't real. You're so right, actually. It's a made-up place. It's all just a hologram. Japan is the hologram city that Hatsune Miku lives in. It's not an actual real place. Just like she's not a real girl, but in my heart, she's my soulmate. She's real in my heart. Japan had 2 sons? Wait, what? I don't even know what that's a joke about. That just sounds scary. Oh, are you talking about Pokemon Sun? Wait, give me a sec. I thought you were just being ominous. I was like low-key scared from that message. You might just be talking about Pokemon Sun. I could be mistaken. Alright. During World War II? I mean, yeah, they technically had 2 sons during World War II. Very bright flash of light, similar to the sun. Sorry. Sorry. Oh boy. I need to be careful what I say here. Nintendo's gonna see me talking shit and they'll be like, so you made fun of Japan while playing a Nintendo game. Your Switch 2 is now bricked. And we're sending ninja assassins to come kill you. And that shiny Charmander, yeah, we've actually hacked into the code of the Fire Red and Leaf Green cartridges that you're playing. And we've made it impossible for you to get a shiny because you decided to talk shit on Japan. That's something Nintendo would do. Come on, turn off. As much as I love the DS Lite, the thing I hate about the DS Lite is the power slider here on the end. It's so unnecessarily difficult to turn the DS Lite on and off compared to like the standard DS where it's just a button you press, like simple. Or they could have kept it as a slider. It's like the Game Boy SP is a slider, but it's a much more tactile switch. Like turning the Game Boy SP on and off is like turning a light switch on and off. It's very, very concrete in whether or not the switch is on or the switch is off. Like, for some reason, the slider for the DS Lite on and off is like, it's not a switch. It is, I can't describe it any way other than just pressing against something until you hit a wall. So like, turning off the standard DS here. You press button, and it turns off. Meanwhile, the sliders on the Game Boy SP, they stay in one position. So it slides from on, off, on, off. The DS Lite, you try to turn it on, you gotta press it. It's like a gradual process. And then once you hit that wall, so you press, hit the wall, it turns off. And then it goes back to the default position. Then you press it. When you hit the wall, it turns on, and then it goes back. But if you don't press it hard enough to hit that wall, it'll just go back and not turn on and off. Not turn on and off. And I find that fucking annoying. Sorry. I just find it annoying. The power switch for the DS Lite is probably one of my least favorite on-off switches for any Nintendo console. That's the slider here is just terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I think I've officially gone insane, by the way, because I just had a moment of like almost existentialism where I realized that I'm talking about the power buttons and power switches of Nintendo devices with a level of intensity that is entirely unnecessary. Like, it made me think to myself, what has my life become? And where did my life go wrong? Where I'm talking about the power switches on the Nintendo DS Lite with such emphasis and such anger. Clearly something has gone wrong in my life to lead me to this point. Oh, god dang it. We're at 1,456. Let me update the number on screen accordingly. I will say though, I don't think it's a completely unreasonable thing to complain about, because another thing I could go on a rant about when it comes to Nintendo peripherals and like Nintendo buttons, I think the D-pad on the GameCube controller is one of the worst D-pads I've ever used. And I'm bringing that up because to, you know, screen record this game, to use the capture card I have, I need to play the GameCube. And I need to play these Game Boy games on the GBA player attachment for that GameCube. Which means when we do start playing this game on a screen recorded capture card and we start streaming the Let's Play of this game, it's going to be on a GameCube, and I'm going to have to play Pokemon Fire Red on a GameCube controller. And the D-pad on that controller is so bad. I've already started playing around with it. And I've never owned a GameCube before this, so I never really knew what the D-pad felt like. But the answer to that question is terrible. It feels terrible. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's almost astonishing to me how bad the D-pad is on the GameCube controller. Keep going. No, I pressed the wrong button. I've heard there are devices other than GameCube that let you play GBA on TV. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sonic Generation fan. Listen, I will consider it, genuinely. One thing I forgot to ask you when we were talking about that, does it have, like, a way to switch between devices without having to plug them in and out? So, like, the one annoying thing about, like, capture card that I have is, like, if I want to stream my Switch, I have to plug it into my Switch. If I want to stream my GameCube, I have to plug it in my GameCube. And switching back and forth between the two, while easy, it's not a hassle. It's more of an annoyance. So, one thing I've been looking for is, like, a way to capture my video game consoles on a device that allows you to plug them all into one, like, capture card or one device. And then if you want to switch between, like, the GameCube and the N64, you just flip a switch, almost like flipping a channel on the TV. Like, that's something I really, really want to invest in, especially once Abby and I get our own house. The plan is, once we get the house, I'm going to have a gaming room. And I want to have, like, all of my consoles set up in that gaming room. I want to have them all plugged in to, like, the same TV. But the reason I'm not doing that right now is because I don't have a TV for my consoles quite yet. And I also don't want to have, like, 13 different consoles plugged in to my computer. And then anytime I want to screen record them, I have to unplug the capture card from one device and plug it into a separate console. Just so much work, and it's annoying. So a lot of the consoles I own right now aren't even on my desk. They're sitting on, like, a shelf or in storage because I just don't have a convenient way of switching between screen captures of all of them. Okay. If that's something that that device can do, that would change my opinion on maybe buying it to definitely buying it. Like, I would buy that within the next 2 years, because once Abby and I get our house, That's something I would want for our house. Yeah, I just need like a hub that I can plug all my devices into and then use that central hub to just switch between them without having to plug anything in or unplug anything. I'm like anxiously awaiting your answer because that would genuinely make that an item that I would buy like today if I had the money, let alone within the next year. Like I would definitely buy it within the next year. My eyes are glued to the chat. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, let me get back to the actual shiny hunting. Getting distracted by this conversation, but it's because I am very intrigued. Very, very intrigued. Beautiful. I was explaining to my brother, Sonic Generation fan, yesterday on Discord. He messaged me something specifically about how the grammar in one of my Twitch panels was just copy and pasted over the other one, and I forgot to edit it and correct it accordingly, which is something I actually noticed before. I noticed it before yesterday. I just haven't fixed it, and the reason I haven't fixed it is because I have a very long to-do list of things that I want to edit or do, or just like tasks I want to complete, and that to-do list has almost grown out of control. It's snowballed into a monster. So there's so many things I want to get done in my life right now. One big one though that's like at the top of that to-do list, it's one of the top priority things, is to finally update my Discord server to look far more appealing and actually like, you know, encourage people to show up to the Discord server and interact with it. Because right now my Discord server is like the most basic bitch Discord server possible. So I really want to improve my Discord server, and that's one of the things at the top of my to-do list. Oh yes, we got an answer in the chat, and it's a long answer. I love a good paragraph. Give me 1 second. Let me read this while I play. It kind of sounds like you were describing a video switcher, which Mr. FPGA doesn't plug into the original console. It replaces them. It supports the controllers as well as USB Bluetooth controllers. Wait, so is it like an emulator? I thought the console plugged into it. I'm going to be honest. Maybe I misread your message. Maybe I was just imagining something that wasn't real. I thought it plugged into the original consoles. It supports the original controllers, but it plays games off the SD card instead of the cartridges. Yes, you can switch between any game on any console the device supports without unplugging any cables. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'm definitely... I mean, I didn't know what it would be called, so you described it for me a little bit better in the chat there. I'm definitely talking about like a video switcher, which is something I would want for my gaming room and my like live stream setup when we get the house. Yeah, I would need like a video switcher, especially for all of my consoles, bro. It's an unnecessary amount to try to have like plugged into my computer, but it would maybe work a little bit better if I had them plugged into centralized TV. So I guess what I need to get then is a video switcher, and maybe I'll still get the Mr. FPGA. Maybe. It's gonna stay in that maybe category though. If I could use it as like a video switcher for my consoles, then that would have immediately made it a must-buy item for me. We're almost at 500 for the stream. I feel like it's flown by compared to yesterday. Yesterday it was a grind. And maybe it felt like it took longer and it felt like it was more difficult to get 500 resets yesterday because I'd worked a 10-hour shift and I was tired. So time was moving by much more slowly. But today's just gone by so quickly. I'm having a blast as well. We've had fun conversations in the chat. We're spamming through these resets. And who knows? Maybe if we get lucky, we'll get a shiny before the end of the night. You know, going back a couple topics, I never figured out where I want to eat tonight. We were talking about food, and like I went on a rant about Chinese takeout, and then I went on a rant about the big four pizza chains, but I never ended up deciding what I want. Because I also talked about Taco Bell. And I went on a rant about how Taco Bell removed my go-to order from the menu, which has just completely devastated me. I'm heartbroken. But yeah, I don't know what I want to eat. See, there's one fast food place that I could literally eat every day of my life and I would never get sick of it. And that's Popeyes. I love Popeyes. But my dearest wife, Abby, she does not really like Popeyes. So I can't force her to go there all the time. She'll go there like once in a while, because she loves me and she's a very sweet girl. But I feel bad making her go there like every day of every week. Because I would genuinely go to Popeyes and eat their chicken every single day of my life. I am addicted to Popeyes. But I don't want to make Abby get Popeyes tonight. What is like a happy medium? I mean, we could get McDonald's, but McDonald's is pretty basic. We could get Burger King, and I know saying that out loud might make you all judge me, because I'll admit, stereotypically, Burger King is terrible. Pretty much every Burger King I've ever been to is terrible, but the one closest to where we live is surprisingly really good. Maybe we could do Burger King tonight. But I'm kind of in the mood for chicken, and Burger King's chicken is terrible. It's so bad. Even at the location close to where we live, Burger King has like the worst chicken. I don't want chicken right now. I'm in the mood for like chicken or pizza, which is crazy because, like I said earlier, literally had pizza twice in the last week. But I don't know. Go for some Popeyes. Sadly, there's no like Chick-fil-A near us. Chick-fil-A would be good, but it's too far of a drive. Wow. I'd actually be okay with McDonald's because I like a McCrispy there. It's expensive, but I think the McCrispy is like underrated. Sure, like people love the McChicken because it's cheap, but I feel like the McChicken just kind of tastes like a frozen chicken patty you could buy from the store and heat up in your own oven. Like, I don't know. The McChicken doesn't impress me at all, but the McCrispy is actually pretty good. Maybe we could go to McDonald's tonight. The whole reason we're ordering out is because we don't have any groceries left. We've eaten all of the food that we bought last time we were at the grocery store, so we need to go grocery shopping. For sure. But then, just so we have something to eat tonight, we're going to order out. I don't know. I don't know what I want. Okay, so it's like an emulator without any of the inaccuracies or lag that people associate with emulators. As I said earlier, it has a hardware chip that can exactly replicate the CPU of the older consoles. So there's no difference from original hardware. That does sound like a convincing argument for wanting to buy one. Like I said, you're very slowly convincing me to get one because that's one of my biggest complaints about emulators. And sure, like I have a Game Boy emulator on my computer, but there's a reason I'm not playing it right now, and I'm playing this instead because physical hardware not only is just better, I like the humble brag of saying that I'm shiny hunting on physical, real hardware compared to shiny hunting on emulator, but also the other reason I love physical hardware is because it just feels so much smoother and more natural than an emulator. So that is a very good argument. All right, I'll give you that. I'll admit that. Good argument in the chat. This is what I'm talking about, though. We got philosophers in the chat. This is a high intelligence chat room. All right. Go on. Listen, I don't really know what number we're going to stop at today. I don't know how many resets I necessarily want to do. We'll see. Kind of indifferent. I think we already listened to this song. Am I going crazy? I could have swore we already listened to this song on the playlist. And we definitely have not gone through every song on the playlist to the point where it needs to start replaying songs. Because this playlist is 3 hours and 42 minutes long. Meanwhile, we've only been live for 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we definitely have not gone through every song on this playlist. But this sounds like a repeat. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm going crazy. Someone in the chat called me insane earlier. Can't remember who it was. Sorry. Someone called me insane earlier. Maybe they're right. I'm not going to name names, alright? I would never do that. I would never isolate a chatter. Call them out, single them out. Sonic Generation. It's just a good game. Sorry. That's why it was on my mind. It's a good game. Oh, my wife is definitely home. My wife is home. I heard the car door slam shut. Okay. We might end the stream sometime soon here. I wanted to do more than 500 resets, though, and we just hit 500 resets, so... I don't know. Try to stream a little bit longer, but we'll see. Just want to give you all a forewarning that the stream might be ending soon. We'll see. We'll see. Cool. All right. Let's keep going. Nothing can stop me now, except for my wife. So we're gonna keep grinding. Also, I can't believe I haven't talked about this yet the entire stream. I haven't mentioned this once the entire stream. For the first time ever, I am live streaming on YouTube technically twice. So in the past, all of my YouTube live streams were horizontal live streams. But recently, the stream software I use added a new feature where you can live stream to YouTube on both horizontal and vertical platforms. So I'm technically live streaming to YouTube twice right now. I have a horizontal live stream going for people to watch if like they are subscribed to me and it pops up in their sub feed, or God forbid it somehow pops up on like their search history, but that's so unlikely. And I also have a portrait mode vertical live stream on my YouTube right now for people who might want to watch that, or more likely for people who are scrolling through YouTube Shorts and it pops up on the YouTube Shorts, because I almost never get a horizontal landscape mode live stream suggested to me on YouTube. Like, I never see one pop up on my explore page or on my recommended, but I very often get live streams on YouTube recommended to me when I'm scrolling through Shorts. Like, I'll just be scrolling the Shorts, and then a portrait mode vertical live stream will appear in the Shorts tab. So now we're streaming on both. Now, I could have always just been streaming on vertical, and I could have always done portrait live streams on YouTube, but I just prefer the look of a horizontal landscape live stream, especially if you're like watching a VOD back after the fact. So that's why in the past I've always done horizontal landscape mode live streams on YouTube, because I wanted the VODs of those live streams to be landscape. But now that I can do both, I don't have to worry about my VODs being vertical, and I have the hopeful benefit of attracting new viewers through a portrait mode live stream on YouTube. Because again, YouTube does not promote those horizontal landscape live streams anywhere to new viewers. But a portrait mode vertical live stream, YouTube does promote those. I know that for a fact. So maybe it'll help us bring in some new viewers as well. We'll see. We will see. I think what we're going to do, boys, is either stop the stream at 1600 resets or 1700. That way we can stop at an even number. But now that my wife is home, I do want to go spend time with her, so we'll end the stream in the next 100 or 200 resets. Shouldn't take us too long. I'm also getting a little hungry, so maybe it's a good thing we're going to end the stream soon. That way we can go get that food I was talking about. I just don't know what I want to eat. Like, I could really go for Chick-fil-A right now. But the fact that Chick-fil-A is so far away, heartbreaking. I'm definitely in the mood for like something with chicken. Chicken or Chinese food. The two C's. That's what I'm in the mood for. Hi, Abby. It's wonderful to see you. Beautiful. I'm gonna wrap up my... What? Oh, yeah, just leave it on the bed for me. We'll go through it together. A lot to go through anyways. Oh, she's gone. And she's gone. I was gonna talk to her for a second. Let her know what I was feeling for dinner. But it's okay, we can talk about that after the live stream. She's playing with the dog right now. Alright. Cool. Keep going. Why not chicken and Chinese food? You have a good point. But like when I get Chinese food, I almost never get like the stereotypical chicken options, like General Tso's chicken or orange chicken. Like my favorite Chinese options are either like a brisket type thing or seafood. I just love seafood. Seafood, Asian food. Ooh. Love it. Hi, Abby. Yeah, I'm at 1,536 resets. I'm gonna stop at 1,600, I think. I was updating some of the games for you, but you had enough space for updates at least. But it hadn't been turned on in so long it needed a system update as well. Same with so both the Switch Lite and my Switch 1 needed updates. Your tattoo? I know, it looks great. It's very pretty. So do you only need one more session to get it done? And is it just the shading, or are you adding more to it? Ah, okay. This song's got me hyped up. Oh, hold up. Gotta update the number on screen. That reset counter's falling behind. Can't believe you're cheating on shiny Charmander with Abby. I know. The only person I would cheat on shiny Charmander with. Yeah, going back to the whole Chinese food discussion. Sorry. What's more important right now? Who cares about cheating? I care about Chinese food. That's the 3 C's, actually. I was making a joke about the 2 C's earlier. The 3 C's of life are chicken, Chinese food, and cheating. Sorry. That's a fucked up joke. No, I love seafood, especially when it's like Asian-inspired seafood dishes. Like, I already love seafood. Seafood's one of my favorite types of food. But then, like, just if you get like a good, like the other day, not the other day, oh my god, I'm making it sound like I went out to eat yesterday and got Asian food. Sorry, it's embarrassing to admit this because it was like almost a year ago. That's why it's embarrassing. For some reason, I use the phrase the other day to describe something that happened a year ago. I think it's a good thing we're ending the stream soon because clearly I'm going fucking insane. No, last year, I went out to this ramen place with my friends from high school, as well as my wife, and I got this dish that was grilled eel on a bed of rice, and it was so fucking good. That's what I mean, though. Like, Asian-inspired seafood dishes are the best. It's just so good. Dude, how do I keep... The reset counter on screen keeps falling behind compared to the clicker. Something's wrong with me. At 1600, you'd be at 400 resets, 1600 counters. That's actually crazy to think about. We will have turned these systems on and off 400 times. We hit 1600 resets. But I mean, it makes sense. What'd you get to eat? Oh, the pizza. Yeah, there was pizza already in the fridge in like a plastic bag. I don't know if that was like Josh's or your dad's. I put your slice in the aluminum foil. Ah, that's fine. I don't think it matters too much. Yeah. I actually thought it was pretty good. It tastes like almost like, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like school pizza or like pizza that I would eat at like Boy Scout camp that the mess hall would make. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I actually worked in the like kitchen of the camp I would go to for summer camp. Like, sorry, it's I realized talking about this to someone who might not know Boy Scouts, like people in my chat, sounds insane. But back when I would go camping in Scouts, like you'd have normal campsites you'd go to, pitch a tent, whatever, out in the fucking woods. But then there was summer camp, and those campsites had like cabins and ropes courses, yeah, facilities like a pool, and they also had a mess hall, as they called it, and it was basically just a glorified cafeteria. And one summer, I worked in the cafeteria, and it wasn't paid. I don't remember why I did it. I think it. Well, it was like a week, not the whole summer. No, just the week I was there. The week my Boy Scout troop was camping there. And I don't remember why I did it because it wasn't paid. I think I might have done it for like not a badge. Maybe it was a badge, but I think the reason I did it, it could have been twofold. It could have been a badge, but I think the main reason I did it was for community service hours. Because to graduate from my high school, and I don't know if a lot of high schools do this, but my high school had a community service requirement. So to graduate from my high school, you needed a certain number of community service hours. And I think I did it to get community service hours. I did have a lot of community service hours from helping my mom with Girl Scout events. Does that count it? Yeah. No. My Boy Scout stuff didn't count as community service hours. But helping, because I was a member of the troop. Like, my school didn't allow that to count as community service because I was technically benefiting from it as a Boy Scout. Like, it was helping me advance in the organization of Boy Scouts. So my Boy Scout stuff did not give me community service hours. But helping out with the Girl Scout troop that my mom ran did help with community service hours because I wasn't benefiting from it. I don't know. It was really. I was not getting laid at the Girl Scout events. Making out with people, maybe, but different. Okay? Boo! Boo! Women! Uh, but yeah, so I was getting community service hours from the Girl Scout events that I was helping my mom set up, but it wasn't enough community service to help me graduate. So I think I also did community service by working in the mess hall of that Boy Scout camp for a week. And it was a very weird experience, looking back. Though, funnily enough, one of the guys that worked in that mess hall, I remember him specifically because he introduced me to the mobile game called Whale Trails, which was a mobile game that I was addicted to for a long time as a kid. And I also made like a couple of YouTube videos about that mobile game on my channel. But yeah, I think I did it for community service, and I might have got a badge out of it as well through Boy Scouts. Like, maybe it helped me get like a merit badge. I don't know. I can't remember. I just know for sure I got community service out of it. Are you going to bed? You taking a nap? You're gonna take a nap, and I'm gonna be done with the stream in like 10-15 minutes. You're gonna be asleep by the time I end the stream. There's no way you stay up for 10 minutes. That's all I'm saying. It's okay. I'll just wake you up. I'll jump on the bed like a fucking child. That's why we don't have to have kids. Because she has me. And I'm basically a child. Beautiful. Yeah, I think that pizza's really good. I'm definitely down to get that. I think it also helps that it's a refrigerated pizza. I called it frozen pizza earlier in my description of it. Sorry, I lied to you, chat. But no, I think it's better than frozen pizza because it's refrigerated, so it doesn't get as like tough as a frozen pizza does when you try to reheat it. No, that was good. Good pizza. No, I didn't have any of the pepperoni. Why did you? Oh. Well, I didn't know what slices were in the bag that Josh... interesting. Your dad and Josh must have eaten all the pepperoni then. Because the slices they saved for me and you were also all cheese. Yeah, no, it's fine. I didn't know if you had any from the fridge. Yeah, I also don't like pepperoni that much. Like... I'll eat pepper. It's so funny because I'll eat pepperoni on its own, like as a snack. Just eat slices of pepperoni, but I think it makes a pizza worse. Same with like pickles. Like I'll eat a lot of pickles on their own, but I do not like pickles on my burger because I think it makes the burger worse. And maybe I'm just picky. I definitely am picky, but like there's just a lot of food items that like I'll eat by themselves or I'll eat with other things. Then I think they make certain dishes worse. It's just a downgrade having a pickle on a burger, in my opinion. How was work today? Yeah. Even if work was easy, just having the tattoo fresh probably isn't gonna make you feel good. Mm. Yeah, I mean, pizza is good, so maybe it will help you feel better. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah. I wish we had a giant near us. Specifically a giant that's still Chinese food, yeah. I love some giant Chinese food. It's so good. Maybe we can get it on our way home Saturday. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's a dog. Yeah, he wouldn't spend much time with me today. Dog was just ignoring me. He wasn't even be in the room. Like, I had the gate set up so he could go between our room and your dad's room, and he just hung out in your dad's room a lot. Yeah, this morning before I started the stream. Yeah, he was just hanging out there, and then even after I started the stream, he wasn't really hanging out in here. Okay. He was biting. Oh no, one of my Game Boys is starting to die. Okay, maybe it's a good thing I'm ending the stream soon. I definitely saw this Game Boy get red. Low battery. But now it's green. It might be on the edge. It's edging. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think the dog missed you. You're about the only person he cares about, so... Alright, boys. We have 24 resets left. How many is that total? 24 divided by 4, Abby, what's that? 6? Alright, 6 resets left. Make it 5. None of those were shiny. Unlucky.
Oh no, baby.
Oh, yeah. Don't let him lick the tattoo. Also, I don't know if I told you, but that capture card I bought is supposed to deliver by Friday, which I almost don't believe because it's coming from Utah. But maybe it'll get there in time. The thing is, there wasn't even an option to pay for like express shipping. I would have, just to guarantee that it gets there on time. But no, there wasn't even an option. Just the default shipping is gonna deliver it by Friday, which I think is, yeah, impressive. Okay. Still grinding. Gotta focus here, boys. I'm watching it on the stream and like my fingers jumping back and forth between the A and B button and then also spamming those buttons. Rapid fire just looks so silly. I never really watched it on stream before. We're watching the footage is very funny. It's a very loud dog. I know, that's so sad. Yeah. Why is he barking? Being a freak. Freak dog. Alright. I feel bad. I'm starting to get burnt out now that I know we're ending the stream soon, so I don't know what to talk about. We can talk about, like... No, let's talk on the stream. Sorry, we're almost done here. I am streaming tomorrow. We're playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. Technically, that game's co-op. You could play with me, but it's like fake co-op. Oh, you don't come home till 8 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, that's unlucky. That's okay. Like I said, that game's like fake co-op. It's co-op in the same way that like Super Mario Galaxy was co-op, but the other person wasn't even a character on the screen. They just had a pointer, and you could use that pointer to collect the gemstones. What were they called? I don't remember the name of the gemstones. But yeah, it was stupid. And Donkey Kong Bonanza is kind of similar, where it's like a fake co-op. Yeah, Paulina just screams. You're not wrong. Or Pauline. I think I said Paulina. You said Paulina, which made me say Paulina. So if anything, you're gaslighting me. Another women gaslighter. What's new? Don't flip me off. That's fucking rude. We can talk about Among Us. Yeah, let's talk about Among Us for the last 5 minutes of this stream here. Hey, I love Among Us. I 100% all the Steam achievements in Among Us. That's how dedicated I am to Among Us. It's such an angry dog. Yeah. No, that's not even an exaggeration either. I have 100% achievement completion on the Steam version of Among Us. But that was mostly just because I love achievement grinding on Steam. I love grinding. Top 10 vent strategies. The imposter is sus. True. True. Clearly this conversation's... we've left the intellectual part of the stream and we're getting to the brain rot part of the stream, so it's definitely a good thing that we're ending the stream here. Because, we're starting to go off the rails here, boys. Alright, last 4. We get a shiny here. No, unlucky. And with that, we're going to stop at 1,600. 1,600 Charmanders. No shiny yet, but not going to get upset. Not going to freak out. The odds are 1 in 8,000, so we're still well below odds. Admin... What does that even say? You know? Nah, it's okay. I think we've lost a lot. I think you're doing it on purpose at this point. We're going to end the stream here. 1,600 resets, not bad. And tomorrow we play Donkey Kong Bonanza, and then in 3 days from now, we'll play a little bit more Fire Red and Leaf Green. We'll do some more shiny hunting. But I think for now we're going to head out. Have a wonderful night, everyone. I'll see you all later. And hopefully I see you tomorrow with some Donkey Kong Bonanza. Peace.